Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Stephen King Cast, one man's musings on the works of Stephen King. Each week, I will review one entry in the bibliography of Stephen King in the chronological order of publication. But what I'm doing right now in this episode, in this mini episode, I'm not reviewing anything. I just want to keep you all updated on what's been going on with the Stephen King Cast, because you might not be aware. I just want to make sure that everyone is informed, because it's important that you know what's been happening, because there's a lot of good stuff out there that you might not be aware that I have been doing over the last couple months. So I just wanted to take a moment. So if you don't follow me on the socials, on Instagram, on Facebook, on Blue Sky, and on TikTok, if you're not following me there, then you might not know, because I haven't talked about it on the feed. But I just wanted to take a moment and tell you what's going on. So let me just kind of say it this way. If you had ever hoped that I would touch upon Game of Thrones, if you want my thoughts on non-Stephen King related horror movies, if you wanted me to talk about Stephen King related news updates, if you are interested in Godzilla or King Kong or Monarch Legacy of Monsters, if you are interested in Batman, in the MCU, if you have been watching Daredevil, Born Again, and if you just watched the show, the hit show on Netflix, Something Very Bad Is Going to Happen. If you like any of that stuff, then I want to point you to a Patreon page that I created towards the tail end of January, and I've been putting a lot of care and attention over there. So yeah, I just want you all to be aware that there's a lot more stuff out there from the Stephen King Cast that is going to Patreon. So let me just explain it a little bit to you now, so that you have all the information that you need and you know what this means. So if you head on over to Patreon / Stephen King Cast, you're going to find two different tiers that you can choose from. So there's tier 1, Constant Reader, which keeps things firmly more in both the Stephen King main feed that you know, Stephen King Cast main feed that you know, and within the world of books. So with this feed, what you get is early access to Stephen King Cast episodes. So if you are a long-term subscriber and have listened to all of the back catalog and you wish that you had more episodes to look forward to, well, the Constant Reader feed will be able to get you early access to episodes as far out as a month in advance before they hit the main feed. But on top of that, anytime there is Stephen King related news stories, I am going to talk about them on that feed. So for instance, Mike Flanagan recently announced that he is going to be covering The Mist. He's going to be directing and adapting The Mist. I talked about that extensively in an episode on the Constant Reader tier on the Patreon feed. Similarly, when Stephen King announced the title and the plot synopsis of the concluding installment of the Talisman trilogy, Other Worlds Than These, there is an entire podcast episode devoted to that, along with theories and predictions and hopes and dreams, and just kind of dissecting that. And every time I review a non-Stephen King related novel, horror novel, I will put that review on that feed. So if you have liked in the past my reviews of the Pine Deep trilogy by Jonathan Maberry and the Anything by Joe Hill, that sort of review will be on the Constant Reader feed. So I'm kind of keeping it open to Stephen King Cast episodes that have not yet dropped that you get early, and Stephen King news, and book reviews. So I just recorded one this morning. It's going to be going up towards the end of April, but that is Dean Koontz's Winter Moon. I'm going to start doing some Dean Koontz work and putting my thoughts on Koontz and applying everything that I've done with the Stephen King cast with Dean Koontz. I'm going to put that on the Constant Reader tier over on Patreon. So there's a lot of real fun stuff on the Constant Reader tier. And then there's the Other Worlds Than These, which is not a Dark Tower focused tier of the podcast, though it does have one foot in Stephen King by calling it Other Worlds Than These. No, the reason why I'm calling it Other Worlds Than These is to, acknowledge the origins and the roots of this podcasting and all of my podcasting endeavors. But it's also speaking to what it sounds like, the multiverse that exists out there. And this allows me to be able to review anything else that we have shared interests in that are not Stephen King. So what this means is anything that's in the zeitgeist, I will be able to discuss in full thought on that podcast feed. And so some things have included over on the Other Worlds Than These tier. I was able to review A Knight of the Seven Kingdoms, which also allowed me to do more of a deeper dive into Game of Thrones and our relationship with George R.R. Martin and the world of Westeros. Earlier this year, there was a smash hit horror movie, Primate, which I thought was awesome, and I was able to put all of my thoughts about Primate over there. To prepare for Apple TV's second season of Monarch: Legacy of Monsters, I did a deep dive into our pop cultural relationship with Godzilla, the different permutations of this character throughout the generations, all before leading to an in-depth review of Gareth Edwards' 2014 Godzilla movie that kicked off the MonsterVerse. And then from there, I have a follow-up episode that discussed and reviewed the other MonsterVerse movies and gave a more focused look on the role of King Kong in pop culture throughout the years. And then if you like those episodes, you will also get weekly episode reviews of the second season of Monarch: Legacy of Monsters, which is great so far. It has Dagon-inspired monsters. It has multiple Russell actors. It has time travel. It's got Skull Island. It has family conflict. It has King Kong. It's got Godzilla. It has everything you possibly could want in a big monster action show. It's been fun to watch every week, and you're getting all of my thoughts on that every week. Also, you're going to be getting regular reviews of Daredevil Born Again. We are in the second season of Daredevil Born Again on Disney+. So that allowed me to do a deep dive into the history of Daredevil, the character, the relationship that we have had with Daredevil as he first premiered on Netflix with those original actors and showrunners, and what that meant for pop culture, and what that meant as it was folded more into the umbrella of the MCU proper. And that allowed me to discuss where we're at with the MCU and the hits that it has taken in the years since Endgame came out, as we start to look ahead towards Doomsday. So in the months to come, I will be going back to the MCU as we start to prepare for December's release of Doomsday. I also have an episode focused primarily to the Caped Crusader, the Dark Knight detective, Batman, where I just explore the journey of Batman since his first publication throughout the years in pop culture, and I do all of this to discuss the importance of the most recent iteration of of Batman, which is absolute Batman, and the implication that this interpretation of Batman has, which sees him not as a billionaire but as working class. It sees him struggling against the system comprised of billionaires. He doesn't have a bat cave. Alfred is not his trusted butler. I explore what this means moving forward as the countdown clock of Batman entering public domain gets louder and louder and louder. So I think that we need to get used to this character, and I will tell you why and go into detail about this version of the character in the Batman episode, which was a lot of fun to do. I also am able to give some recommendations of Batman comic books and story arcs that aren't as discussed with the frequency of The Dark Knight Rises and The Killing Joke that you might hear a lot from the internet and pop culture. And then, like I said, I was able to recently, I just finished, actually, just a couple minutes ago. I just put it up on the Patreon tier. But over this past weekend, my wife and I finished up watching Something Very Bad Is Going to Happen on Netflix, which is an incredible show. I loved watching it. I wish I could go back in time and watch it again from the beginning for the first time. That's how much I loved it, and I miss not watching it. But I was happy that I was able to put all of my thoughts out there on it. So that's something that that you get to look forward to, are all of my thoughts on Something Very Bad Is Going to Happen. And then once a week you get, like I said, episode recaps of Monarch Legacy of Monsters and Daredevil Born Again Season 2. Later this month, we get to look forward to The Boys, the final season of The Boys. I'll be reviewing that. And really anything that is in the popular zeitgeist, I'll be discussing and putting my thoughts out there on this Patreon feed. So this has been a lot of fun to do, and I don't want anyone missing out. So if you have any questions about this, please write into StephenKingcast@yahoo.com. It's important for me to know what your thoughts are on everything that I just said, and if there's anything that maybe you want me to touch upon that I have not already. Because as we move forward in the next few months, there is definitely a lot to be able to discuss. I'll be giving my thoughts on the recent 28 Years Later movies. I will be discussing Scream, the latest Scream movie that just came out. I have been meaning to do a Predator Badlands one, which was a lot of fun. I didn't get a chance to do Wonder Man, so that's something that I want to do. The Burrows, when that comes out, which is the follow-up to... I believe it's the Stranger Brothers, the Duffer Brothers follow-up. I'm going to be taking care of that. Widow's Bay on Apple TV is something that I want to be able to discuss. When Lanterns comes out, that's something that I want to talk about. Undertone, I want to give my thoughts on that. Backrooms, when that comes out, I want to give my thoughts on that. They Will Kill You, that's something that I want to talk about. Ready or Not, episode, Ready or Not, Here I Come, I want to talk about that. Send Help, that should be available on streaming, so I should be able to give my thoughts on that. The Mummy, when that comes out in April, I want to be able to sit down and put out a review. So there's a lot that I have planned that is not Stephen King related that I'm going to be putting out on other worlds than these. And this is not going to affect the Stephen King cast at all, because looking forward to the Stephen King cast, you get to look forward to the... you get to look forward to all of the other televised works of Stephen King that I never got around to that first time, which includes Trucks and Rose Red, The Diary of Ellen Rimbauer, Salem's Lot, the Rob Lowe starring Salem's Lot, Kingdom Hospital, You're Welcome Everyone. And then we have the Nightmares and Dreamscapes miniseries, Riding the Bullet, Desperation, Bag of Bones, Big Driver, seasons 2 and 3 of Mr. Mercedes. I might do a revisitation of The Outsider, Lisey's Story, Chapel Wait, The Institute, and hopefully that gets us back up and running when the second season of The Institute hits, so I can do weekly recaps of that. And then you can also look forward to weekly recaps of It, Welcome to Derry season 2 when that comes out. So don't get me wrong, like just because I'm focused on these the Patreon episodes doesn't mean that I'm going to give up on what I'm doing over on the main feed as well. So we still get everything that the Stephen King cast has been. That doesn't change, but I just wanted you to all be aware that there is more out there, and you'll get early access over on the Constant Reader feed, and you're going to get everything else under the sun out in the multiverse in other worlds than these. So I just wanted to take a moment just to make sure that everyone knew what was out there. I'll give some updates in the weeks to come, and I'll probably drop some preview episodes just to wet your whistle if you want to explore that further on your own. So if you have any thoughts, please write into StephenKingcast@yahoo.com. You can follow me on Facebook, on Blue Sky, on TikTok, on Instagram, and on Patreon. And may you have long days and pleasant nights, and I'll see you here and on Patreon, where MON spells Stephen King Cast, Constant Reader, and other worlds than these.